Decades ago, the world suddenly underwent a mutation. Vicious ghosts invaded the world, and humanity entered the mythical era, awakening professions. Master your skills, raise your rank, and enhance your strength. Awaken one's fight against vicious ghost monsters on the blue planet, carving out a space of survival for humanity. Without a doubt, the mythical era is the era of awakened professionals on the blue planet inside the Long Sea Federation at Hatching High School. The awakening ceremony had already begun. Countless students had gathered on a large field, facing the stage. The combat class instructor, Lu, was looking at the students while giving a speech. He announced that the awakening ceremony had officially started and that today was the day the students would awaken their professions. He also told them that this was directly related to their future destinies, hoping every student could awaken their desired profession. We see our hero. Our hero was a freshman at Haichang High School, and his name was Fang Zhou. While listening to the speech, our hero smiled and thought to himself that after transmigrating here so many years ago, the day to awaken a profession had finally arrived. Just then, Instructor Lu called our hero onto the stage. In response, our hero agreed and started walking toward the stage. As our hero walked forward, several girls were looking at his handsome face and chatting among themselves. One girl curiously asked what profession Fang Zhou would awaken. Another girl immediately replied that based on his vibe, she guessed it would be priest. Hearing that, another girl agreed and said it would be a shame not to become a priest with those handsome looks. Meanwhile, a few boys were looking at our hero with irritation. A golden-haired boy said in a dissatisfied tone that it didn't matter if he was handsome, as awakened ones still had to rely on their professions to speak for them. Another boy agreed with him, but the girl standing beside them heard their conversation and immediately responded that they were just jealous of his good looks. Hearing that, the two boys could only remain silent while our hero continued walking toward the stage. At the same time, Lu looked at Fang Zhou's documents and thought to himself that Fang Zhou, an orphan of martyrs, had excellent physical fitness and great academic grades, so it was no wonder so many people were paying attention to him. Soon our hero arrived on stage and placed his hand on the awakening device. The moment his hand touched it, a powerful golden energy surged toward the sky while a trace of black energy mixed within it and rose upward as well. The energy released was extremely powerful, creating a tremendous impact across the entire area. Seeing such a shocking reaction, the students present were immediately stunned. One student exclaimed in shock at how strong the reaction was. Another student stared in disbelief and shouted whether his awakened profession was really going to be this heaven-defying too. Meanwhile, another student looked at Fang Zhou with admiration, calling him an idol. However, as everyone watched, the black energy on our hero's side began circling around him. Meanwhile, the golden energy had completely disappeared. Soon, the black energy shot straight into the sky, causing the color of the entire heavens to change. Feeling this terrifying energy, Lu was completely shocked. Sensing the phenomenon, he wondered what kind of incredible profession this kid had awakened to trigger a phenomenon in heaven and earth. At the same time, strange visions began appearing in the sky because of the black energy. Numerous different types of monsters appeared within those visions, including many skeleton-type monsters that could clearly be seen throughout the sky. Soon afterward, our hero's awakening was successfully completed. At that moment, a system notification appeared, informing our hero that his awakening had succeeded and revealing his profession, necromancer. Seeing this, our hero became slightly serious and muttered to himself, asking if this was truly his profession. However, as soon as the students who had been irritated with our hero heard about his profession, they immediately burst into loud laughter. When our hero looked toward them, the golden-haired boy laughed mockingly, saying he had made such a huge scene only to awaken as a necromancer. Another student laughed and added that even though it was a rare profession, it was truly the absolute bottom among all combat professions. A third student also laughed, saying strength really had nothing to do with academic grades. Hearing all their comments, our hero became serious and thought to himself that true necromancers might look powerful, but they had a fatal flaw: they required a sufficiently close connection with the undead realm. Since life and death were inherently opposed, where could living human beings even learn about the undead realm? After thinking about all of this, our hero quietly said to himself that he was different from everyone else. Then our hero's gaze shifted toward his system panel. On the panel was our hero's name, along with his rank, which was apprentice lower. His attributes were also displayed, showing strength 1, constitution 1, agility 1, and spirit 2. Our hero then placed his hand on the system panel and directly destroyed it. The moment the golden system panel was destroyed, a brand new dark green system panel appeared right in front of him. As soon as the new panel was created, it immediately congratulated our hero and informed him that he had successfully awakened the undead realm experience system. Looking at the new panel, our hero couldn't help smiling, saying his golden finger was 18 years late, but finally here. Right after that, another system notification appeared, informing him that he had successfully unlocked the system. Immediately afterward, one notification after another began appearing in front of him. One notification stated that it had automatically connected to the undead realm for him and generated an undead realm clone. Then another system notification appeared. After that, a third notification stated that the player could explore the undead realm through the skeleton clone, devour other undead creatures, and level up to grow stronger. The skeleton clone could also be summoned to the real world, though the experience carried unknown risks and required care. After reading these notifications, our hero smiled and thought to himself that realistically experiencing experiencing the undead realm made this a system practically tailor-made for a necromancer. Without wasting any time, our hero immediately ordered a summon. The moment he spoke, a skeleton clone appeared right in front of him. Looking at the skeleton, our hero asked if this guy was his clone in the undead realm. At that moment, another system notification confirmed that before summoning this clone, he could briefly possess it to experience the undead realm. Soon, another system notification stated that the skeleton clone could devour other undead creatures to enhance its own panel attributes. Then yet another notification added that slain undead creatures could also be summoned by the host to fight in reality. After reading all the system notifications, our hero looked at the undead realm through the clone's eyes and realized that as long as he killed enough of them, he would have an endless supply of summons, making the entire undead realm his hunting ground. However, our hero quickly decided not to enter the undead realm just yet, calmly deciding to save the experience for next time. Then our hero immediately gave another command, instructing the system to summon the clone to the real world. Hearing the order, the system instantly responded that it was beginning the summon. As soon as the system finished speaking, the skeleton appeared directly in the real world in front of our hero, who realized that the skeleton clone could be directly summoned into reality as his strongest minion. Meanwhile, Instructor Lu felt somewhat disappointed after seeing our hero's profession. He called the next student forward while silently wondering how such a good seedling could awaken this kind of profession. After stepping down from the stage, our hero continued walking forward. At that moment, several girls approached him. One girl tried to comfort him and said that he shouldn't be discouraged. Another girl immediately added that even as a necromancer, she believed he could still achieve a legendary crown. Hearing this, another girl looked at the skeleton and excitedly asked if this was the skeleton he had summoned, commenting on how cool it looked. Soon, our hero found himself surrounded by a group of girls. Seeing the scene, the boys who were already irritated by him became even angrier. One member from the golden-haired boys group gritted his teeth and angrily questioned why girls were still surrounding him when he had awakened such a trash profession. Another boy complained, asking if he could just do whatever he wanted simply because he was handsome. The more they looked at our hero, the more frustrated they became. Meanwhile, the golden-haired boy himself was extremely irritated. Looking at the skeleton, he jealously noted that our hero could only summon a skeleton, asking how that was stronger than his assassin profession. However, a sinister smile slowly appeared on his face as he remembered something, reasoning that novice necromancers could only summon a few skeletons a year. He realized that if he shattered the skeleton, it would greatly slow down Fong Zhou's leveling speed. Thinking of this, the golden-haired boy secretly summoned a silent arrow into his hand and fired it toward our hero's skeleton without alerting anyone. However, just as the silent arrow was about to hit the skeleton, the summon suddenly disappeared from its original position. Seeing this, the boy's eyes widened in shock. Before he could react, the skeleton appeared directly behind him, holding its weapon firmly, and launched a powerful attack toward his face. The hit landed heavily, causing blood to burst from his mouth as the impact sent him flying backward to crash onto the ground far away. With his face completely swollen and disfigured, the boy lay on the ground in disbelief, unable to understand how this was possible. Slowly struggling to his feet, he looked toward Fong Zhou and angrily shouted, asking what he was trying to do and if he was trying to kill him. At the same time, rage filled his heart as he glared at our hero, wondering how the skeleton could be so formidable as to detect a sneak attack from a blind spot. However, he reasoned that as a skeleton mage, no matter how strong the summon was, the main body shouldn't be physically strong. After thinking this, the boy immediately rushed toward our hero at full speed, intending to attack him personally and teach him a lesson. However, the moment his hand reached our hero, Fong Zhou instantly grabbed his arm, spun him around, and forcefully pulled him closer. At the same time, our hero clenched his fist, coldly telling the boy he was overestimating his own capabilities as he launched a powerful punch. The moment those words left his mouth, our hero's fist smashed directly into the boy's face, sending him flying backward once again before crashing heavily onto the ground, nearly knocked unconscious. Seeing everything that had just happened, the surrounding students were completely stunned. After teaching the boy a lesson, our hero casually turned around and started walking away, calmly stating that this was far too boring and that he was leaving. At that moment, Instructor Lu finally arrived after hearing the commotion, asking what had happened and why there was so much noise. Immediately, one of the girls stepped forward and explained that Lu Renjie had tried to sneak attack Fong Zhou and ended up getting instantly taken down with one punch. Hearing this, nearby students began discussing the situation, unable to believe what they had just witnessed and questioning the common belief that a necromancer's main body was weak since Lu Renjie couldn't even beat Fong Zhou. Meanwhile, several boys rushed over to help the golden-haired boy up. Filled with anger and humiliation, the boy glared at Fong Zhou and shouted furiously for him to just wait. Meanwhile, our hero had already arrived inside the school building, noting that nobody was there to bother him. Seeing that no one was around, our hero immediately ordered the system to appear, thinking that it was time to experience the undead realm. As soon as the system became visible, it asked if he wanted to start the undead realm experience. Looking at the system, our hero reflected that the experience would help him understand the undead realm better, a mandatory course for necromancers. He noted that with good luck, he could even devour other undead creatures, which was the best way to enhance a necromancer's power, though he acknowledged that creatures in the undead realm were highly dangerous and risks coexisted with rewards. After weighing his options, our hero gave the order to start the undead realm experience. The system agreed and asked him to wait a moment while our hero thought about how he shouldn't waste this opportunity after waiting 18 years for the system. A moment later, a system notification appeared, warning that the experience carried an unknown level of risk and asking if he wanted to proceed. Without hesitation, our hero confirmed his choice. The moment he did, a powerful dark formation appeared beneath him, instantly transporting him into the undead realm. Upon arrival, our hero realized he was inside the body of his skeleton clone, observing that it looked identical to the skeleton he had summoned earlier. Just then, his status panel appeared, revealing that his clone was an apprentice rank skeleton with lower tier attributes: Strength 1, Constitution 1, Agility 1, and Spirit 1. It had no equipment, possessed the apprentice level skill skeletal armament, and carried the innate instinct of the skeleton race, which allowed it to use bones to strengthen itself and forge equipment, while its soul power was at 0. Looking at these stats, our hero realized skeletal armament was the ability the clone had used earlier and decided he should forge a weapon before encountering enemies. However, while he was still reflecting on this, a wolf-type creature suddenly charged toward him from behind at full speed, preparing to attack.